number 3 on 4.1. And the main problem with this is just like how you are supposed to represent the different things. Okay, so if you were told that the circumference of a circle is 1, and then it asks you to solve for the radius. Well, circumference can be expressed as either c, the circumference itself, as d pi, or as 2 pi r. So since we're looking for r, we can express it as 2 pi r, and then we can solve for r. So almost all of you would be able to do this by hand very simply. So here is your answer, 1 over 2 pi. The problem comes, how do you represent this on an entry? Okay, usually on quizzes and tests, you guys are going to be asked for decimal forms. So there shouldn't be any issues on the formatting. But I do want to talk through what exactly happens. So ideally, again, it's possible that pi might be represented just pi, but more likely it's going to be pi with open and closed parentheses after it. And so what happens is, if you guys entered this in this form, okay, what the relationship shows here, if you were to follow order of operations, and so remember, order of operations goes parentheses or any grouping symbols first, then exponents or powers, and then it's multiply and divide, and then it's add and subtract. Now, there's no priority between multiplying and dividing because it's the same operation, right? Dividing is just multiplying by the reciprocal, so they're really the identical thing. And subtracting is equivalent to adding the opposite, so it's still just an adding. So there's no priority here. So when you type this in, the calculator isn't going to say you multiply the 2 and the pi first, and then you take 1 divided by that whole quantity, because that's not how the order of operations work. If there's no grouping symbols, then it'll just go left to right involving any operations with multiplying and or dividing. So your calculator or order of operations would be expressed as this is 1 divided by 2, and then that whole thing times pi. But that's not what you wanted. You wanted pi to be in the denominator. So what you would technically need to be right on this would be an extra set of grouping symbols around everything that's in your denominator. Okay? Now, if you typed in this, that should work as well. And I'm not going to be too strict on how you represent pi. Okay? So either one of those should work. If you get either of those and it doesn't work, let me know. But again, the other ways don't fit the rules of order of operations.